It was the biggest mistake of my life. Hey guys, my name is Vita and welcome to Shit I Watched This Month, where I talk about shit I watched this month. I watched a lot of colorful things this month. Not just series, but also revisiting some old movies from my childhood that I never realized had such an impact on my family. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Faking It. It was an old TV show from MTV and it came out around 2014. It's about these two best friends who pretended to be a lesbian. Right from the start, we realized that Hester High, the high school that they go to, is a different high school than any other. It's like the more different you are, the more popular you are. So the main characters are Karma and Amy, and they're the two best friends. In the beginning of the series, they are both these straight girls, and Karma is this insecure girl who feels like she needs to be validated by other people. So when the most popular guy in school, a gay guy named Shane, noticed them because he thought they were lesbians, she felt the need to fake it because it's the first time Karma felt like she's been noticed by anyone since they got into high school. So Shane decided to invite them to his party. In the party, we're introduced to this stereotypical blonde, white, skinny girl who is supposedly popular in any other schools, but she's not here because she's just a stereotypical blonde girl who at the beginning of the series felt like a one-dimensional villain, and then we found out that she is Amy's to-be stepsister. In this party, Shane decided to out Karma and Amy as a lesbian couple to everyone so that they vote for them as the homecoming queens. Right at the same time that Lauren is campaigning for her homecoming. The next day, Lauren realizes that Karma and Amy are faking being lesbians. So when they were campaigning for the homecoming crowns in the gym, officially at school, Lauren outed them for faking it and asked for proof. So Karma and Amy kissed. One of them enjoyed the cheer from the crowd and the other one enjoyed the kiss. I love this series. This is my third time watching this series. I'm introducing it to my sisters because I feel like they're old enough to watch these kind of topics. I do enjoy that they are consistent in showing that the high school called Hester High is really different from any other schools, which is why the main characters decided to pretend to be lesbians. They're very consistent with that theme throughout. It makes me feel like I'm in this fantasy land where everybody is heard and equal, and it's beautiful. There are some series that still takes real life situations into their series, but it is not consistent. Like The Queen's Gambit, they talk about sexism, but then they brushed it off. Another example is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where real life situations are put into special episodes, like the sexual harassment case that was directed by Stephanie Beatrice. That was a one and done episode. Amy and Rosa never really refer to things like it again in the future, and what I really appreciate from Faking It is that they don't do that. They really stay in this fantasy of everyone being accepted. They don't take any real life situations unless they get out of Hester High, unless they get out of the environment of the people that are in Hester High, and I really appreciate that. So I just keep living in their universe. Every time I watch it, it makes me feel good. We do get a glimpse of what other schools look like when one of the characters wanted to move out into another city and transfer school there. She realized that they're not as accepting as Hester High, and I like that little glimpse outside in order for us to feel like, oh wow, yeah, that's the real world. So yeah, that's the only exception. And instead of just putting it out, oh, that this is a problem and one and done, no, they're putting it out as if, so this is the real world, but you're safe here. That is the big difference. I love that about this series. But there are some things that are tricky. There are some stories that I feel like should not be appropriate for characters of high school age. For example, there is a story where Amy decided to date someone who is a DJ and a caterer, but we never know her age. It really bothered me at times because even though they do look like they're not that far apart, I have to keep remembering that Amy is still in high school because we keep coming back to Hester High, and that really makes me think, how old is this woman that she's dating right now? She could be 20, she could be 23, she could even be 19, but that is still inappropriate if you are dating, what, a 16-year-old? There's also the story where Shane dated this guy who is a professional wrestler. We don't know his age either. And it was driving me crazy. And I think that one of the worst ones was when Lauren started dating a cop. I'm not joking. I think she was 16 or 17 in the series when she dated a 20-year-old cop. Why? Faking It has always been consistent in separating that, yes, Hester High is not real. This is not the real world. They've been consistent in showing us that this kind of stuff don't happen in real life. So I tried to let it slide, but still, they're in high school, and it made me somewhat uncomfortable, and I never liked their relationship. So thank God when in the end they all end up with appropriate aged people. Besides all the things that I just said, I love how the pretending to be a lesbian storyline is not offensive. Like, it was done tastefully because we get to explore with Amy the confusing times of figuring out your sexuality and friendships and family, because Amy's family are not accepting. They are your typical religious family. It makes me see what could happen if I ever come. So anyway, yeah, I also love the character development of her family. The fact that this is a series and not a movie really gives it an edge for time, and how she could accept her daughter being queer. And I also love that the faking lesbian storyline is like a Trojan horse. I think that the story that they really wanted to tell is of an intersex person. I really didn't know intersex existed before watching this series, and neither did my sisters, because we barely see any representation in the media for people who are intersex, and they decided to tell the story from season 2 to season 3. I remember watching this in 2014, and now I feel like it hasn't aged as well as I thought, because I don't know if the actress is actually intersex or not, and I don't really like the fact that they are high school characters dating someone older outside of high school. But what I think aged well is that this is a story set in high school, made so people out there who feels different can finally feel like they found their place. They feel like they've been represented well, and they feel that there are characters out there that they can relate to, even though it's not perfect. I feel like it started something. And the fact that there are more representations now, for example, there's Sense8 and there's the Half of It. I am sure that there are way more LGBTQ representations and LGBTQ focused series now, more than there was in 2014. So despite its warts, I feel like Faking It did what it came to do. It gives us representation, and it gives us like a stepping stone to move forward. I wish that this show would get picked up someday in the future, or someone will recreate the show, reboot it with a new cast. I feel like it is very, very sad that MTV decided to cancel it after its 3rd season. I know that a lot of people would appreciate having a story like this. I know that I haven't found anything else that's like faking it. Oh, Euphoria, that's also one of I can't believe I just, oh my god, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so dumb. But yeah, there still isn't any show like faking it out there. I do love that it's not that realistic and that they really show us, so this is what the world looks like if we just respect each other and treat each other equally. It makes me feel warm, makes me feel happy, and I love it every time I rewatch this. Probably gonna rewatch it for a 4th time, who knows? I have a little brother, maybe when he's older I'll rewatch it again with him. So that's it for my review of Faking It. It really is a good series and I hope you guys watch it. Next up, the LORAX. I watched the LORAX back in 2012 and it was the biggest mistake of my life because now, years later into the future, my sister finally opened up to me and told me that she used to have a crush on the onceler. Then she got assigned from school to watch Willy Wonka, and because of that, she felt like this is a onceler wannabe. So we rewatched the LORAX to tell her, no, he's not, it's fine. And it turns out that reignited her crush for the onceler. So that's why it's the biggest mistake probably of my life. I'm kidding. She can like whoever she likes, fictional or not. So we rewatched the LORAX and it's such a stupid movie. It's supposed to have this really good message of caring about something and talking about climate change, pollution, trees, nature, and how important trees are, and that capitalism is bad. So it checks all the boxes and it's packaged into this little animated movie that's fun to watch for the whole family. Just be careful that your sister might also be attracted to the onceler after watching it. Sorry, Nyla, for making fun of you. She streams Marvel Spider-Man every time she feels like it. She makes a ton of monster, YouTuber, and anime fan art on her Instagram, so go check them out. Link is in the description box below. The LORAX is based on this Dr. Seuss poem where he said, unless you care a whole awful lot about something, nothing's gonna change. Wait, is it that? Is it that? I have to search this. Unless someone likes you, cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. It's a really good message to give out using animation. It's told in a very weird way. The onceler is telling his story to this little kid who wanted a tree just because he had a crush on his neighbor. I don't care about that timeline. I mean, it's a kid's movie, so of course it doesn't go that deep, but I feel like no one really gets the message right away. Even if you were a kid, it's pretty vague in the end, but also pretty strong. So it's vague and a strong message at the same time. It feels so weird. And I still don't know what the LORAX does. What does he do? I know he's a magical creature who protects the trees. He speaks for the trees. All he could do is go down from the sky and then go up to the sky by lifting his butt. Also, some of the songs are really bad. How bad? What a weird rhyme. I'm just doing what comes naturally. It's a kids movie. I can't really say anything much about it, but be careful watching this because you or any of your siblings or any of your friends might have a crush on the onceler, which opened me up to think, huh, do people still like the onceler and not just my sister? And got me to stumble upon the onceler TikTok. I'm getting out of track, but the point is, It's a kids movie. I have mixed feelings about it, and please be careful for the onceler. That's it. Also, I might react to the onceler TikTok, because what the fuck is that? Do you want to see it with me? Do you want to explore this side with me? Let me know in the comments, please. Thank you. Next thing I watched this month was KAKEGURUI. Yes, it's an anime. Yes, I love anime. My friends have been telling me to watch this since I don't know how many months ago, and I finally did. I was addicted to it immediately after watching the first episode, and I just kept going, and I couldn't even stop myself when it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Oh my god, wow. I finished it in 2 days. I finished KAKEGURUI in 2 days. There's only 2 seasons. It's on pause currently right now. We don't know if it's getting continued or it's getting canceled. It's really just like out there on a limbo, and I really wish that it will continue now that it has found its new audience in Netflix. So please watch it. It is based in a high school, so this is some elite rich people high school that you go to, and it's set on class, not on how much you worth or based on popularity, sports or anything like that, but it's based on gambling. It is crazy. I hated the first character that they showed us, Mary Saotome, which is this blonde chick with pigtails. I hated her because she treated another human being like something lower than her and treated him like a prop. But then came in the new girl, our main character, Yumeko Jabami. The first time I saw her, immediately I have a crush. I mean, who does it? So this school is perfect for her because she is a kakegurui, or a compulsive gambler. I thought that she has this naive girl front to fool everyone, but seriously, she is just a really nice girl who enjoys gambling to that point that she just takes it. She's not a sore loser or sore winner, and she can differentiate gambling and actual real life friendships. So just because you lost to someone does not mean that you cannot be friends. And I like that about her. She doesn't immediately like, oh, they're all my enemy, but she says that if you make my gambling fun, I feel like you're a fun person to be around with, so let's be friends. She's that kind of person. Because of her attitude, it changes the school's environment and the people who hangs out with her. I really love that there are actual trusting female friendships here, unlike in Queen's Gambit. I'm so sorry. You know, I really like the amount of girls' friendship in this. She really changes the people that she played with, and I love that she's not OP, because some anime characters, if they are really good at something, they always win. But in this anime, Yumeko does not always win, and we see what happens when she loses. I like that. She doesn't really have a lot of character development, but everyone around her gets one because of her. And now I really love Saotome. Beautiful girls having amazing female friendships. I'm all for it. Usually a show that sexualizes its character is very male gazy, but it doesn't feel like that here. It almost feels like every single character is queer in a way, especially the girls. Like, you can totally tell that they got something going on. I hope that develops. I don't know. Although this is still happening in high school context. These characters are in high school, and I'm sure that the animators or the people who made this are no longer in high school, and that's my concern. It's in the back of my head. I don't know if this applies to everyone in Japan, but you guys got some weird schoolgirl fantasy. I get excited for them, not because they turn me on, but I get excited for them because it shows how much the characters are very into gambling, how they're so passionate about winning and trusting each other. And of course, I love it when there are queer undertones. I don't know yet if this is queer baiting, but it's very pleasing to women who loves women. So I really enjoy KAKEGURUI. Please, Netflix, continue to season 3. It's the shit, man. It's one of the animes that I watched this year that I can't wait for the next one. I'm going to watch Beatstar next. If you guys have any good anime recommendations, please comment them down below. I really want to continue watching, preferably something that feels like KAKEGURUI. I love those. And I can't wait for January 2021 because Promised Neverland Season 2. Okay, next and the last one that I've watched this month is Deadly Class. I just watched the first episode. I haven't watched the rest of the episode. There's 10 episodes in one season, and it's about this private school that teaches children to be deadly criminals. They are trained to be murderers, and we follow this main character named Marcus, who is rumored to burn down his orphanage and killed every single children inside. So Marcus is our way into this secret school. He's our eyes because he doesn't know anything about this, just like us. And I got hooked immediately by the pilot. But guess what? Turns out the show got canceled. I just wanted to know if it was adapted from a comic book, and it was, but I also found out it got canceled. Will I continue it? Yes. I will probably be reviewing it again next month when I've watched all 10 episodes. Yeah, that is everything that I watched this month. Thank you so much for watching. Please do check out my other videos. I post every week. There are styling videos. Recently I just did a bedroom makeover one. I talk about being a feminist, and I will come back again for another review next month. This has been Shit I Watched This Month. My name is Vita, and goodbye.